quick video. I wanted to show you a cone winding machine that I made. I've been working on it for the past week or so and only finally perfected it last night, and it works brilliantly, and I wanted to give you a little tour around it. Unfortunately I didn't film the build because I never really thought I'd get there. It was all a big experiment from start to finish, so I missed out on logging the journey towards making this machine, but nevertheless I'll show you around the machine and I'll show you how it works. So here it is, and what it basically consists of is a little motor which is off of an electric seat mechanism, a little 12 volt motor, a angle grinder which I just took apart and used because it's got the sort of 90-degree gearing that I needed to get this thing to spin. While this spins, this rod goes up and down, and as you can see with a loop in it there. Here's a closer look at it. So I've got this rod going up and down with a loop in it. The idea behind that is that the wall goes through there and spins up and down on the yarn, on the cone rather, to give it an even coating of wool onto the cone. Here I used a draw slide mechanism so that I can lift this arm up and down like that, and so that way I can put my cone on and drop it in there like that. This part here is, God knows what it is. It's it might have been a doorstop. I went to B&Q, and it's one of them situations when you don't know what you're looking for until you see it, and it was pretty much like that. Everything I've put together here is well, 99% of what I've put together here is just me rummaging around my cupboards and looking for things that might just do the trick. I literally didn't have a plan at all. The underside consists of, as I say, you've got the motor, the main motor, which is running through here. Luckily I recently salvaged, or didn't salvage, I took apart an old bench sander. It broke, so I took it apart and kept all the bits, and I've got to keep sort of bearings and things like that, which I've never had before, and also this little belt here which is come in handy for me. So what I've done is the main motor turns the cone round and round, and using bearings and a belt and my angle grinder, which I cut to pieces and took out all the guts from it, and put a wheel on there so that the belt would sort of spin on that wheel, and then in turn transfer the drive from going down that way to going across and then coming upwards that way. It all sounds confusing, and it really is, but it makes sense when you see it working. So I made this plate here out of a bit of Perspex, and I used from a painting roller the end cap, and then I cut a piece of that paint roller which slots in there, and then the cone fits nice and snugly on there and centres it. I've got a piece of copper tube here which goes on the top of that rod there to keep that centralised, and at the same time I've got this piece of rod here going up into there. Let's get that. There you go. Right, so as I say, as this spins, that goes up and down, and it winds it nice and evenly on here. This is the first kind of mechanical project I've ever attempted, and you know, I got the result, there are faults with it. It's a bit noisy, I think, but it works, and it actually does a really good job of working as well. So without further ado, let me show you how it does work. Now I've got my ball of yarn in a bucket down below. I just thread this through here, tie a quick little knot on there, and switch it on. That for power, I've got there we go, this thing here, which is a variable power supply. That's it, that's what we've got. And as you can see, it's sort of winding it onto the cone nice and evenly in a crisscrossy fashion as well, which makes it much easier when you're using the wool with a tufting gun and you're not forever having to unknot the wool from the ball. And there you have it, a beautifully wound cone, and it's just give you a little bit of a close-up. You can see how nice it winds it on in a nice crisscrossy fashion, and that just comes off the cone so easily when you're tufting. That process took me no more than 3 minutes. And as I get a bit braver, I start turning up the voltage and it goes a bit faster. So I'll have it done in about 5 seconds one day, but for now I'm happy with the way that it's working.